Welcome back to another week of Summer Anime 2025 tier list, where I rate the most recent episodes, Sunday being the cutoff, meaning Monday animes we haven't seen, and I rate it based on how I felt. Any shows that we're dropping? No, I think that at this point we have procured an amount of shows where there's no need to drop. You know, some of them are definitely lower performing than others, but it is what it is. We can go with it. Water Mage didn't air this week. I'm hoping that this week we'll be back stronger than ever, because last week was... holy shit, that was fucking pathetic. It was an outsourced episode with the Goblin Stampede. That shit was fucking ass. Let's talk about Call of the Night. Call of the Night episode I think was pretty good. It was another mysterious episode talking about Kabura. Actually, no, great. I just remember Love Green. I just remembered about Love Green and how much of a Giga Chad he is. I also just realized green means Midori. Midori is green. Midori is the vampire that turned Love Senpai into, you know, a vampire. That's what that is. Love Midori. I loved it. The otaku. I swear to God, if he dies, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. What a Giga Chad, bro. Next up, Kaiju 8. I'm doing it. I'm putting this shit in peak. I have been kind of hating on Kaiju 8 due to the lackluster, just, I don't know, episodes that... we start up with erectile dysfunction, that there's a lack of oomph in the actual, like, fight scenes. Nanami is pretty cool, but the most recent one... my god, the emotional tones portrayed with, you know, the sacrifice. I don't want to spoil it too much, but someone dies. And I thought that I wouldn't really care about it. I care about it a lot. I think I cared a lot about his assistant too. The one that grew up watching, you know, the leader on TV. And he was there to witness the death. Now, it's a little retarded if you think about, why did we just run away? Why did we give him extra kaiju powers? But there's a... and why did Kafka take that long? Motherfucker can fly, he can run... like, what? But you realize that these are plot elements in order to advance Kaiju 9 into the next, you know, threat. Obviously, it's gonna happen. So there are a lot of shit that I'm thinking of like, this is fucking stupid. However, still a very emotional, hype episode. The sacrifice was rest in peace, and goddamn, bro. Kaiju 9, he is getting more and more cracked. Next up... Krivate's episode, I think, was... it's kind of chill. We are still doing world building, going to a different place, looking at what happened after the outfall of the war and how different kingdoms are trying to take over. I say it's a good episode, nothing too crazy. Centipede Man showed up at the end and something hype's gonna happen, but it's kind of just chill, good episode. Next up, Grand Blue. Also probably just kind of good. Fun. I like the friend group, right? Anytime the shitty ass friend group shows up and we're just clowning around, it's pretty fun. The festival stuff with the cosplay, the cross-dressing. I want to see what happens, you know, in today's episode, because it's typically they got kicked out and now they're back. Next up, Yuri Anime. The most recent Yuri Anime episode was just about Satsuki, right? Nothing too crazy happened. We're just kind of like setting up for something big to happen, right? It was a chill episode. Satsuki is now taking Renako, and basically Ajisai is also getting cucked without even knowing. It's really sad. Mai is still a fucking bitch as usual. That's pretty much it. Just a decent episode. Summer Hikaru died. Most recent one. I liked it a little bit more. The threatening immersion was there when we thought, holy shit, is he gonna kill his friend? And then Yoshiki pulls up and there's a whole like conflict happening. There's also like a deep like philosophical debate of like, what does it mean to be a human, you know? What does it mean to be a person? Is it their biological makeup? Is it their memories, right? So there, on one part, there was like a lot of deep thinking and commentary about that, and the other about like the threatening horror elements. Less gay jokes. I wish that this anime would stop with the gay jokes. I'm the one making the gay jokes, but the sexual innuendo is absolutely there, and I'm not trying to make more out of a situation. It's just, goddamn, sometimes it gets so distracting from the overall plot, but I thought it was a great episode. Next up, Apocalypse Bringer by Nogra was another, probably a good episode. Nothing too crazy, right? We had an insane pop-off episode. We met, you know, two little girls, and they're insane, and the whole, like, they want death in order to be salvation was really sad. There's a lot of sus lolicon stuff happening of like, bring me my little children. What the fuck was up with that? But the introduction to the twins was nice. We're advancing our research and establishing a new hero pretty soon. Isla, right? The queen of whatever, the insect. And then there is the other nation, right? Again, to the east of us, there's a neutral territory. We're trying to like get that happening. That was a setup episode. My dress up darling? Bro, why was this so hype? Probably my favorite episode of Dress Up Darling to have ever aired. I was shocked at the level of aura farming happening between Gojo and Marin. Both of them trusting each other, saying, I will become number one. I will put her number one. Have you ever put your life on the line to do cross-dressing cosplay? It's ridiculous, right? But in terms of like that sports element hype of like going to the nationals, surpassing your limits, locked in, it was all there, but in a very different context of like a slice of life anime. And the friend groups, right? God, we have such great friend groups. It's the really nice thing about season 2 is how we're delving into other side characters and how they are basically like highlighted more and more, right? Because season 1, you only have Gojo and Marin. Now we have all these other characters. Even the white hair character pulled up and we got to see what she was all about. I was sad that she wasn't really talking. She got a lot of lines recently. And the whole like friend group establishment, they're all supporting each other. Gojo realizing people are good. It's so nice. I loved it. Next up, BBL Shota. I would say great episode. I think BBL Shota, this most recent one, had me respect Babylon a lot more. Babylon is a character that I thought was an insignificant side character that didn't really matter. He never really stood out in, you know, season 1 during the Assassin's Guild stuff either. But this season, due to like his position with Esha and like how they have a ship and how he's going all out to sacrifice himself, holy shit! You put some respect on Babylon, man. What else? And then there was, you know, the fake bishop guy, you know, aura farming. His powers are fucking crazy. There's a moment where Escher is like, please save me. We have like Nami Arlong Park moment, you know, and Luffy pulls up and says, I got you, don't worry. And then, you know, Lloyd pulls up. It's gonna be pretty hype. The setup is all done. The matchup, the hype buildup between, you know, the fake Pope Bishop dude and Lloyd. It's getting fucking hype, man. Next up, Dan Da Dan Hayashi episode. Chill episode, more slice of life. I would say great episode. Nothing too crazy, right? There's a lot of like slow, drawn out slice of life moments happening. Like the entire time the house is all busted up and we're walking to go to the bathroom. What the fuck was that all about? But I kind of appreciate the slow burn and to kind of, it made me really like immersed. I was like thinking, wow, we're really just taking our sweet ass time. But I felt like I was living in that busted ass house. The Hayashi performance stoked a lot of controversy and drama regarding copyright, apparently. Not in terms of YouTube reactions, but in terms of like legal licensing. Apparently the anime studio was not allowed to do that, but they did it anyways. I don't fucking know. Still, great episode. Ida and Momo, their rivalry, it's always fun to see. And now we're getting Maid Momo stuff happening. We'll see what happens with the Moi Moi Q next episode. Mikado and the Sisters, most recent one. Dude, this shit was peak. This shit was peak. I think that I enjoyed Dress Up Darling more for the serious locked in side from Gojo and Marin. That again was something special to me. Mikado and the Sisters date episode, peak, bro. Kazuki and you, bro. Tenkusei going on a date. All my like expectations, all my what's the word? All my like tropes that I would expect, like getting stuck at the top of the Ferris wheel, having a confession, none of it was already there, right? They constantly diverted my expectations and gave me something fresh and unique. Their date was basically like her trying to play the role of the prince. And there's a deep lesson in how she's scared of failure, right? She is scared of failure because of what it could mean, because dad is from Classroom of the Elite. And dad might kill Kazuki if she fails, I don't know. But then by looking at this loser who's always failing, but pushes to, you know, moves forward, Kazuki realizes, you know what? I'm being like stunted in growth because of my failure, like scared to fail. There's this concept called fail forward. Fail often and fail forward. Like a lot of times people are too scared to do something because they don't want to look like an idiot. Who wants to look like an idiot, fail after putting all their hard work in and get nothing out of it? But this is something that you need to confront or you're never going to get anywhere in life. And you have to have the expectation that you will fail, but you need to fall forward. When you fail, falling forward basically means, listen, you're trying to make the best situations out of it. Like when I'm in the context of making YouTube videos, I don't know what I'm doing in the beginning. I'm just reacting, but I'm trying to learn. And I'm going to have a lot of L videos, but eventually some of them are going to do well and I'm going to learn, right? You're failing, but you're learning from it. You're falling forward. You need to keep doing that. And then after a while, because of how often you failed forward, now you'll be in a place where you're way better than the previous position where you were too scared to do anything. Next up, Sakamoto Days, godlike. Where the fuck did this come from? Where? Takamura Gigi has still said nothing. I know that he is a narrator behind the scenes. This dude, crazy concept of assassins. This is a young man's game. And there's a reason why he's so old and still alive and why he's so powerful. Think about that. He's a god. Holy shit. I thought I was supposed to be scared of Slur. I was scared of Takamura, bro. Sakamoto versus Slur was kind of hype for a bit. Slur's men, you know, respect to them too. They were putting in work. Shin was kind of there as moral support. But goddamn, Takamura Gigi, the things that he does, the moment that he's on screen, it's fucking crazy. The over farming, I was genuinely so locked in. It was so fucking hype, bro. Yeah, respect to Gaku too. Next up, Fragrant Flower, also peak. These all three rom-coms and rom-dram, honestly, so fucking peak. I appreciate the wholesome, honest communication. I still rate like the aura farming scene higher to me because this is again in my personal bias list, but this again, the perfect anime to watch if you want proper development and communication and for people to actually fucking like do something rather than expecting others to read their minds. So many other romance animes, unnecessary drama happens due to motherfuckers not understanding how to communicate. Fragrant Flowers is such a refreshing take, and the fact that Cloverworks is able to just dish out unreal levels of fucking animation quality when we're just yapping. Their camera work, the overall direction, the cinematography, man, it is beautiful. It is stunning. The symbolism, every single scene trying to hint and basically complements the commentary happening of what is actually going on between the characters. It's beautiful, man. I just want Subaru to crash out more, but that's for my own drama's sake. Next up, Arknight's most recent one was Tallulah backstory. Nothing too crazy. I probably, it's like, I think that important stuff is happening, but again, due to my lack of knowledge in the game, I don't know how important it is. It's still cool to see. It's kind of tragic because Tallulah is like this crash out queen that you see in the future, but in the past, she's such an idealistic and hopeful person, and you realize that like, damn, this girl, like, she's been going through some shit. So later on, you'll probably be able to empathize with her more of why she's just deciding to burn everything down. Still doesn't justify her behavior, but you can understand where she's coming from. Gachakuda, I'd say, was a good episode. It was, the fight scenes were pretty hype. Yeah, I like the movement. More, you know, unique powers. The shovel, the mud stuff was pretty cool. Rudo integrating with the cleaners is also nice. Zanka was kind of popping off for a bit until he wasn't. Then the Dreads guy showed up. We'll see what happens there. Takopi is done. So rest in peace, Takopi. I'll put it down here. I'll retire Takopi there. Silent Witch was great episode. Loved it. So fun. The Tea Party aura farming. Bro. The Tea Party aura farming. And the amount of people that are upset about my opinion. About how I want to basically, like, seriously. So basically, in the Tea Party context, there was the argument of you want to drink mild stuff in the beginning in order to ramp it up so that the strong tea doesn't ruin everything else. So that logic comes from people who have no palate cleansers. These buffoons should have a coffee bean on the side in order to cleanse their palate to be able to get a new refreshing taste. But I get that logic. I am coming into this from a completely different perspective of food. When you're the most hungry, you're the most like hungry, I go in with like very tasty stuff first. Like if it's a buffet, for example, am I gonna go in eating mid food in the beginning in order to do what? Save the best for last? But by the time it's last, I'm so full. And then you want me to basically, like, your idea is You want me to appreciate mid, underwhelming foods in the beginning so that those food groups don't get overpowered by the best? No, I don't agree with that. I think that's fucking stupid. Why would you sacrifice the best to please the fucking mid? No, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go peak, peak, peak. When I go to a buffet, I'm gonna get the best foods immediately. I'm the most hungry. I'm gonna eat that shit. I'm gonna feel the most satisfied. And then later on, as I'm getting more full, I'm gonna try some other stuff that might not be that appealing, but still has some room in for me. And then slowly start drinking soups and other fruits and desserts and stuff like that. Why would I save the best for last? It just doesn't make sense to me. My goal is to get the most out of the best. Your goal, you're telling me you wanna basically sacrifice the best in order to appreciate more of the shitty food? Fuck you. You do whatever you want. You're a fucking barbarian, bro. I'm gonna do whatever I want. But again, this is like a different context. Tea, you're drinking. You don't really get full that much from drinking. I get the idea of not wanting to overwhelm the other fragments of the tea, because in this context, it's not really about how full you get. It's about the strong taste that lingers, especially if you don't have coffee beans to like cleanse your palate. I think that like if you had a palate cleanser, you're able to basically drink any type of tea in any order, and the next experience is gonna be fine. Again, my goal, maximize the best. Why would I sacrifice the best in order to please the mid? No, I don't go with that shit. Next up, 2B Hero X. It was peak. I think it was. Now, let's get serious for a second. I think that 2B Hero X was peak in the last 3 minutes of the episode. The entire episode is fucking replaying the same shit that's been happening over and over again. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I like the scheming stuff happening in the background with Uncroc and the other CEOs, because now you see everyone is involved. But it's only the last like 3 minutes where everyone pulls up that's really hype. Still peak episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope that next episodes are even better. And finally, Lord of the Mysteries. I think it was peak. I think that I enjoyed this probably more than Kaiju 8 in terms of the emotional tones. Probably more than Mikadono. Less than Fragrant Flowers probably. What I really appreciated about this Lord of the Mysteries episode was not about like the crazy world building or the mysteries. This episode, I think, really did well in selling old Neil's life. He is a charming, outgoing guy who's a jokester on the outside. But at home, clinical depression. Everything is messy. He doesn't clean anything up. And it's probably to remind himself of the past with his wife, Celeste. And all these different mementos, right? The drinking cup, the ring, whatever of his friends. His last friend group of the old generation is dead. Red Crimson Moon, and he's playing the Moonlight Sonata, just grieving, and it's so sad. And he had to put his friend down. Like, bro, there was some fun parts with Klein, you know, scamming the audience, right? Because he's trying to make some Sacred Sun charms. But fuck, to have old Neil be that sad, for him to put his friend down, his last friend of that generation. Holy fuck, bro. It was cinematic, it was beautiful, it was tragic. And I think this is all suggesting that old Neil, someone needs to take care of him, because I think he's gonna go crazy pretty soon. The concept of Beyonders going crazy and dying is something that we've been reminded of constantly from the beginning. Havre, I think, turned into the sea creature due to the interaction with Magos and the true creator's vessel within the baby body, right? There's a slight interaction. I think he turned at that point. It's so fucking sad. And that's pretty much it. This is my this week's tier list. A lot of fucking peak episodes. They were generally great and nothing too mid. That's pretty much it. See you next time.